New International Version. Jesus calls Levi and eats with sinners. He came to eat with sinners, not to practice their sin but to help their sick souls out of sin and show he is way they need. Jesus, how can you hate him without a cause? John 15:25. Context cross-ref comment Greek verse. Click for chapter. New International Version. But this is to fulfill what is written in their law. They hated me without reason. Mark 2:13-17. New International Version. Jesus calls Levi and eats with sinners. 13. Once again Jesus went out beside the lake. A large crowd came to him. And he began to teach them. 14. As he walked along, he saw Levi son of Alphaeus sitting at the tax collector's booth. Follow me. Jesus told him, and Levi got up and followed him. 15. While Jesus was having dinner at Levi's house, many tax collectors and sinners were eating with him and his disciples, for there were many who followed him. 16. When the teachers of the law who were Pharisees saw him eating with the sinners and tax collectors, they asked his disciples, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" 17. On hearing this, Jesus said to them, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." The four Gospels portray him as kind, patient, long-suffering, full of tenderness, forgiving, willing that no person should perish. He is called a shepherd, a teacher, a brother, a light in darkness, a physician, an advocate, a reconciler. Jesus gave no cause whatsoever that he should be hated by anyone. So, what did Christ do that he should be so despised, both in his own day and today? Simply put, the world hated him because he came as a light to deliver them from darkness. Jesus declared himself to be the light of the world. "I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life." John 8:12. Yet Christ also tells us, "Every one that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved." 3:20. Christ's gospel includes the call to cast off the works of darkness, and put on the armor of light. Romans 13:12. Here is the reason the world has for hating Christ, both then and now. Jesus promised to deliver people from their chains of darkness. He pledged to set men everywhere free from all satanic power. However, what we Christians see as a holy gift of deliverance and liberty, the world sees as a form of bondage. They love their sins and have no desire to be free from them. You call that freedom? The non-believer asks. No, here is freedom. We can do as we please with our bodies and minds. We declare ourselves free from all restrictions. We are already free from the bondage of the Bible, free from all sexual taboos, free to worship a God of our own choosing, including no God at all. Simply put, the world loves the things of this world. The ungodly relish the pleasures of sin. Jesus said these prefer the darkness to the light. This is the condemnation, their reason for hating him, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. John 3:19. Jesus warned his disciples clearly, "Because I have chosen you out of this world, the world will hate you, just as they hated me." Christ tells his followers, "If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." John 15:19. Jesus adds in the same passage, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you." 15:18. In short, if you are of Christ, if God chose you out of a worldly life to follow his Son, Jesus, you will never be loved or accepted by this world. Why? Just as Christ said he is the light of the world, he declares us also to be the light of the world. Ye are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. At the Last Supper, Christ warned his disciples, "Some of you will be killed, some will be imprisoned, and all will be persecuted." At this point, Jesus gave the disciples a word of direction. It was meant to teach them how to reach their generation after he was gone. He told them, "A new commandment I give unto you." John 13:34. Of course, it's true that all believers have their crying times. Even the godliest Christian can be overwhelmed by sorrows and trials. For many saints, personal pain has grown so powerful they have succumbed to weariness, feeling utterly helpless. Yet amid their sorrows, they continue to cry out to the Lord. In their grief, they lay hold of the Father's comforting promises, and daily they rise up again and fight on with renewed faith. These believers simply do not quit. They trust the Holy Spirit to keep their light of faith burning, for Christ's sake and for the sake of his church. Dear saint, this is where true love begins, with laying down our dreams, hopes and plans, to share in the sufferings of Christ and yield willingly to our cross. That is the love all men can see. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples. John 13:35.